All right, guys. Today we are going to be reacting to German Chancellor Merz on Ukraine. No hope left for diplomatic solution to the conflict. Okay, we're gonna react to this craziness. You guys have to, back me up on this one. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Okay, let's go.
Merz touched on the largest strike on Ukraine in Wednesday's general debate in the German parliament, promising renewed aid for Kyiv. He also said that he has no hope left for a diplomatic solution to the conflict.
We will continue to help Ukraine, even against the resistance of the political left and the Russia-friendly right here in the House. We will continue this support. And let me make it even clearer. The means of diplomacy have been exhausted.
And for more, let's bring in DW Chief Political Editor Michael Kufner, who's joining us from the German Parliament. What should we make of that?
He went in. Let me just analyze some of the body language here.
Even against the resistance of the political left and the Russia-friendly right here in the House. We will continue this support.
Who are these people? These are political left people? I don't know. Dang, he's not liking it, bro.
Let me make it even clearer. The means of diplomacy have been exhausted.
And for more, let's bring in DW Chief Political Editor Michael Kufner, who's joining us from the German Parliament. What should we make of that statement from the Chancellor?
It's a wrap. That's what it is.
Well, he is making clear that those phone conversations with Vladimir Putin have not yielded results. It's also in the vein of the latest comments that we've seen from US President Donald Trump, who basically said he would be sending defense equipment to Ukraine. He's very unhappy with the last conversation he had with Vladimir Putin. And the German backdrop to that is that the largest opposition party, which is the far-right AfD party, is against continued military supplies to Ukraine, which the German government, of course, has vowed it will continue to do. And this was part of a back and forth, really, a response by Friedrich Merz to Alice Weidel, the leader of the far-right AfD party, who continues to accuse Friedrich Merz of being a chancellor who doesn't keep his word, who spends too much time abroad. That's what she said in the debate today. And here, Friedrich Merz wants to set the record straight that it takes two to talk about peace, and that Vladimir Putin is not willing to really talk about any kind of ceasefire agreement. This was clearly meant for a German public, which still backs the government's handling of Ukraine. But there's always the concern that this accusation can be hanging in the air, that there's not enough diplomacy going on.
Okay, you
Damn, I don't know what to say about this, man. I've watched some of the videos, man. I have one kind of channel called the PF Music. I react to a lot of Russian stuff. I have no say on this. To be honest, I don't know what the hell's going on, guys. I don't know what the hell's going on. At what point? I mean, nobody's winning on this, because I don't know what's taking the entire Eastern Front of Europe is not feasible for Russia, right? You would think they don't have the manpower to do that. Secondly, we have a lot of men dying in that war, a lot of civilians too. So I don't know, man. I know Europe doesn't want to get into a war, but what will you do? What will you do, man? Like, at this point, what would you do? Let me know in the comment section below. You guys know more about this than myself. Again, I'm just an American living in Wisconsin that have no idea what the hell's going on. I watched the news. Don't get me wrong. I watched the news from both sides to just get a point across and just have some kind of inside baseball of what's going on. But again, the definitive situation, I have no idea what's going on.
mentioned it there. The parliament is in the midst of this general debate. So does it look like Merz is delivering the kind of leadership that he promised Germany and Europe?
Well, he says so, and that's also his argument when he cites all his foreign trips. Germany will triple its defense spending by 2029. He made clear that unless Germany had reformed that debt brake and made a huge exemption for defense spending, that NATO's survival essentially would not have been guaranteed to meet those expectations, particularly from the US side of more defense spending. All of this was a reply to far-right leader Alice Weidel, who had the first speech in this general debate, which traditionally is really taking stock, although Friedrich Merz, of course, is still within those 100 first days. He's just on day 64 in office as German Chancellor here. His argument is that Germany is taking an increased stance and that those investments, also in infrastructure that he promised, will now be in the pipeline. Against that, from the opposition, there's criticism that, for instance, lower prices for energy is only for big business and not individual consumers. So Friedrich Merz made clear that talking to foreign leaders as a nation of an export nation is also in the interest of the German people.
DW's Michaela Kufner. Thank you.
I mean, I don't know, man. I know it sounds like a lot of rubbish at the end because I didn't know what she really said. The hope for diplomacy was exhausted a long, long time ago. As my father said to me years ago, Putin has no reverse gear. Yeah, and here's the thing. That's a true statement. That's a true statement. That's a true statement. Putin is not going to stop. Putin sent that message years ago. Glad you finally got it. Yeah. Yeah, and I think when the war started, at that time Europe needed to just step in and put like a stop right there in Kiev. You know what I'm saying? Because it's clear that he does some guys. It's almost a million soldiers right now. I think. Let me double check. Give me 1 second. Let me double check here, guys. Let me chat GBT it. Chat GBT. Let's see. Right here, guys. Yeah. How many soldiers? Let's see what they say. Damn, bro. Golly, man. Look at that, guys. Okay, so overall military casualty, wounded, 1 million, as reported by the Ukraine General Staff. Estimated killing action around 250,000 soldiers in 2024 alone. So approximately 430,000 military casualties. Suggest 110,000, 211,000 confirmed Russian military dead. Ukraine, this is not true. I'm sorry. This is not true at all. This is not true at all. This is propaganda right here. Let me see. Give me a more realistic estimate with Ukraine. Let's see. Okay, all right. So between 220 to 500,000. That sounds more. That overall sounds more realistic. I guess Russian salmon, bro. But then the thing that you have to ask yourself is Ukraine really? Is Ukraine really giving the correct estimate? So you have to be careful. You have to really look for different sources, man. Because the AI, even though it's an AI, it's an artificial intelligence, it has its bias, right? So let's see. There's supposed to be an update. I think it was yesterday or today or this morning. Let's see. Russian death. There we go. You see that? You see this? Ukraine estimates. The General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine reported in July 1st, 2025, that Russian combat losses total approximately about 1,020,000 980 troops, which includes killed, wounded, missing, and captured. While not explicitly broken down, estimated soldiers are around 198,000 or 250,000 Russian soldiers deleted. Okay, that's more realistic. Okay. Now, let's just go back to Ukraine and see. So, Ukraine, 43,000 Ukraine killed. This makes no sense, guys. This makes no sense. I mean, it could be because they have a more... they have a better military capability because of the Western armory. But really, man? So I'll say like 500,000. So probably overall, almost 2 million. I was probably 1.6, 1.7 wounded and killed. Wow. This is insane, man. Insane. Let me know what you guys think. I'll see you in the next one.